Every car enthusiast talks about horsepower and acceleration, but none mention the brutal truth about value. What if I told you that the cars everyone worships are keeping you broke while truly superior vehicles sit ignored at bargain prices? That's not opinion. Market hype destroys more car budgets than mechanical failures do. Imagine finally saving enough for that dream classic only to discover you could have gotten something better for half the price. In this video, I'm counting down the 17 cars that will make you question everything you know about automotive value in 2025. And trust me, the #1 choice will blow your mind. It's so misunderstood that a government study proved its critics completely wrong. Watch every second because this isn't just a list. It's the difference between buying smart and becoming another victim of automotive marketing myths. Number 17, Ford Fairmont Futura, 1978 to 1983. Starting our list at number 17 is a car that looks absolutely forgettable, but created one of the most important foundations in automotive history. The Ford Fairmont Futura appears to be nothing more than a basic, boxy sedan from the Malaise era. But here's what makes this car special. It was the very first vehicle to use Ford's legendary Fox platform. That's right, the same chassis that would later underpin the iconic Fox body Mustang started its life in this humble family sedan. The Fairmont shares a massive number of interchangeable parts with the Mustang, making it the ultimate sleeper project car. You can build a 500 horsepower monster that looks like your grandfather's daily driver. The rear-wheel drive platform and lightweight design create a perfect blank canvas for high-performance builds. While everyone's fighting over inflated Fox body Mustang prices, smart builders are picking up Fairmonts for a fraction of the cost and creating something truly unique. Number 16, Volkswagen CC, 2011 to 2017. The Volkswagen CC was an ambitious attempt to bring luxury four-door coupe styling to the mainstream market. This car was absolutely stunning, with flowing lines and an interior that felt like it belonged in a car costing twice as much. But here's where things get interesting. The CC failed commercially not because it was a bad car, but because it fell into what experts call the luxury trap. The purchase price seemed reasonable, but ownership costs averaged $880 per year in repairs, far above the class average. Timing chain tensioner failures, water pump issues, and DSG transmission problems turned what seemed like a bargain into an expensive lesson. The CC teaches us that sometimes a car's reputation for being underrated comes with a warning label. It's beautiful, it drives well, but make sure you understand the true cost of ownership before you fall in love. Number 15, Mazda 6, 2014 to 2021. The third-generation Mazda 6 might be the most tragic story on our list. This car did everything right. It featured stunning Kodo design language, a surprisingly premium interior, and the kind of engaging driving experience that made every trip enjoyable. Automotive journalists consistently praised it over the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry. So why did it fail? The answer has nothing to do with the car itself. The Mazda 6 was a victim of market trends, killed by America's obsession with SUVs. Even the best sedan in the world couldn't survive when consumers decided they'd rather sit higher and sacrifice handling for the perception of safety. The Mazda 6 offered luxury feel without luxury prices, making it an exceptional value that the market completely ignored. It's proof that sometimes being the best isn't enough if you were in the wrong category at the wrong time. Number 14, Honda S2000 AP2, 2004 to 2009. Now here's where we need to be careful about definitions. The Honda S2000 is legendary, but there's a split personality in the enthusiast community. Early AP1 models are worshipped for their raw 9,000 RPM redline, but they were also notoriously difficult to handle at the limit. The AP2 models from 2004 to 2009 solved these problems. Honda enlarged the engine to 2.2 liters, creating more torque and better low-end power. They softened and retuned the suspension, making the car much more predictable and user-friendly. Many experts consider the AP2 the better overall car. But here's the problem. Purists dismissed it as tame compared to the original. This perception has kept AP2 values lower than they should be. You're getting a world-class roadster with improved performance and handling balance, but paying less because it's considered the softer version. Smart buyers know better. Number 13. Datsun 280ZX, 1979 to 1983. The 280ZX suffers from an impossible family legacy. As the successor to the beloved 240Z, it was designed with grand touring comfort in mind, rather than raw sports car minimalism. It sold well and even won Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year in 1979. The turbocharged version introduced in 1981 was actually the fastest Japanese import available at the time, but purists saw the emphasis on comfort as a betrayal of the Z car's original ethos. They dismissed it as too heavy and too soft. This critical backlash has unfairly overshadowed the 280ZX for decades. In reality, its grand touring focus is exactly what makes it compelling today. You get stylish looks, reliable performance, comfortable cruising, and strong racing pedigree, all at a fraction of the cost of its now inflated 240Z predecessor. If you'll allow me to pause here for just a moment, if you're enjoying this deep dive into automotive history, hit that subscribe button. We're about to get into some truly special vehicles that deserve more recognition, and I don't want you to miss any of them. Number 12. Cadillac CTS-V First Generation, 2004 to 2007. The first generation CTS-V marked a seismic shift in Cadillac's identity. This was their declaration of war against the German luxury performance establishment, specifically targeting the BMW M5. The weapon of choice? The 5.7-liter LS6 V8 from the Corvette Z06, producing 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. This car was famously described as a four-door Corvette Z06 and came exclusively with a 6-speed manual transmission. The driving experience was described as brutal and brash, with a sensational exhaust note that gave it more emotional connection than the cold and sterile German competition. So why is it underrated? One word: interior. The early 2000s GM cabin was genuinely awful, described as horrible and downright cheap compared to German rivals. But here's the thing. If you can look past the plastic dashboard, you're getting world-class performance at used car prices. It's a purist's dream that happens to have an ugly interior. Number 11. Buick Regal GS, 2011 to 2017. The Buick Regal GS is the perfect example of a great car with the wrong badge. This was essentially a rebadged Opel Insignia, engineered in Germany with a 310 horsepower V6, all-wheel drive, and Brembo brakes. It had the dynamics to compete with entry-level German luxury cars. The problem was identity crisis. Traditional Buick buyers weren't interested in a sporty sedan, while performance enthusiasts shopped BMW and Audi. This mismatch resulted in terrible sales and catastrophic depreciation. But that depreciation is your opportunity. The Regal GS is a well-built, reliable, genuinely fun sports sedan, offering a premium experience at a fraction of German prices. It's a perfect example of how badge engineering can work against an excellent product, creating incredible used car values for informed buyers. Number 10. Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe, 1987 to 1988. While American manufacturers clung to V8 engines in the late 80s, Ford's Thunderbird Turbo Coupe went European. This was the top-of-the-line model featuring a 2.3-liter turbocharged and intercooled 4-cylinder, 5-speed manual transmission, adjustable shocks, and 4-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The car earned Motor Trend's Car of the Year in 1987, but its European approach confused American buyers who expected V8 power. It was essentially the spiritual successor to the Mustang SVO, wrapped in a more luxurious Grand Touring package. Today, this technology-forward approach makes it fascinating. The Turbo Coupe offered handling and sophistication that most domestic cars couldn't match, creating a unique alternative to traditional American muscle. It's proof that sometimes being ahead of your time means being undervalued by history. Number 9. Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS, 1983 to 1988. The fourth-generation Monte Carlo SS brought back the Super Sport nameplate in an aerodynamic G-body package directly inspired by NASCAR success. Drivers like Dale Earnhardt made this car famous on the track, and the road version featured the distinctive sloped nose and rear spoiler that defined 80s performance. Yes, the 180 horsepower V8 seems modest by today's standards, but remember this was the Malaise era. The Monte Carlo SS matters because of its racing pedigree and its role as the perfect canvas for modern modifications. The G-body platform is beloved by builders, and the NASCAR connection gives it legitimate performance heritage. This car is underrated because it's not obviously classic like earlier muscle cars, but it represents a specific moment in automotive history when style and aerodynamics mattered as much as raw power. Plus, that connection to Dale Earnhardt's legacy makes it special for NASCAR fans. Number 8. Mercury Marauder, 2003 to 2004. The Mercury Marauder was Ford's attempt to build a modern muscle sedan, and they almost got it right. Built on the Panther platform that underpinned police cruisers and taxis, the Marauder received sinister styling with a blacked-out grille, upgraded suspension, and four-wheel disc brakes. The heart was a 4.6-liter DOHC V8 from the Mustang Mach-1, producing 302 horsepower. It was a genuine sleeper sedan that looked menacing but flew under the radar. The Florida Highway Patrol actually used these cars, giving them legitimate police heritage. Despite being objectively cool, the Marauder was a commercial failure. Critics wanted more power, specifically a supercharged engine. But owners consistently praise its blend of performance, comfort, and unique character. It's gained a cult following among enthusiasts who appreciate subtle muscle, making it one of the most compelling, underrated vehicles of the 21st century. Number 7. Ford Flex, 2009 to 2019. The Ford Flex defies easy categorization, and that's exactly why it belongs on this list. This full-size crossover was designed as the anti-minivan, featuring quirky, boxy, retro styling that people either loved or hated. There was no middle ground. The Flex offered impressive interior space, comfortable ride quality, and an optional 3.5-liter EcoBoost twin-turbo V6 that provided serious performance. For families who wanted something different, it was perfect. But that controversial styling meant it never sold well. Sales declined throughout its production run until Ford finally pulled the plug. However, owners absolutely loved their Flexes, praising the unique design, versatility, and practicality. There is one warning. Many EcoBoost models suffer from expensive water pump failures that can cause catastrophic engine damage. This problem led to a class action lawsuit in Canada. So if you're shopping for a Flex, factor in potential repair costs. Number 6. Pontiac Grand Prix 2nd Generation, 1969 to 1972. The 2nd Generation Grand Prix represents a fascinating identity crisis. Designed by John DeLorean, it featured a stretched intermediate chassis, creating a dramatically long hood and pointed beak nose front end. It was marketed as an El Dorado for the masses. This car had the powerful V8 engines of its muscle car contemporaries, including 400 and 421 cubic inch options, producing up to 376 horsepower. But its emphasis on luxury interior and elegant design made it more of a sophisticated grand touring machine than a raw muscle car. This positioning between luxury and performance meant it was often overlooked by enthusiasts who flocked to the more celebrated GTO. The Grand Prix was too elegant to be a pure muscle car and too powerful to be a simple luxury coupe. This unique but forgotten space makes it an excellent candidate for modern reevaluation by collectors who appreciate its distinctive character. Number 5. Mercury Cougar 1st Generation, 1967 to 1970. The 1st generation Mercury Cougar was actually a huge success that somehow managed to be forgotten by history. Positioned as a plush pony car, it offered more luxury and sophistication than its Ford Mustang sibling. The 1967 model won Motor Trend's Car of the Year and outsold the Pontiac Firebird. The Cougar came exclusively with V8 engines, including the potent 6.4-liter Marauder V8 and big block options like the 428 Cobra Jet in the high-performance Eliminator trim. It blended comfortable, well-appointed interiors with genuine muscle car performance. So why is it underrated? Simple. It lived in the shadow of the Mustang. While the Mustang became a cultural icon, the Cougar's more refined identity relegated it to footnote status. Today, this historical oversight means you can find a Cougar at more accessible prices than comparable Mustangs, making it a hidden gem for collectors seeking unique and powerful classics. Number 4. Studebaker Avanti, 1962 to 1963. The Studebaker Avanti represents brilliant design from a company on its last legs. This car was genuinely ahead of its time, featuring striking futuristic bodywork with a forward-leaning, grille-less front end that still looks modern 60 years later. Beyond unique styling, the Avanti was a technological and safety innovator, equipped with padded dashboard and optional supercharged V8 power. It was built for speed and style, intended as a high-performance coupe that could compete with anything on the road. Limited production from 1962 to 1963, and Studebaker's financial instability prevented the Avanti from reaching a wider audience. Production challenges and the company's eventual collapse meant this flash of brilliance burned out far too quickly. Today, its rarity and distinctive design have made it highly sought after by collectors. The Avanti proves that sometimes a car's greatest merit is its sheer audacity and innovation in the face of impossible odds. Number 3. Jeep Grand Cherokee 5.9 Limited, 1998. Here's a car that was only available for 1 year, making it a true automotive unicorn. The 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee 5.9 Limited was a factory-built hot rod SUV powered by a massive 5.9-liter Magnum V8 producing 245 horsepower and 345 pound-feet of torque. This made it the fastest SUV in America at the time, capable of sprinting from 0 to 60 in just 7.2 seconds. It proved that big SUVs didn't have to be slow, pioneering the concept of the performance SUV decades before it became mainstream. The 5.9 Limited combined this performance with luxury features, including heated leather seats and a 10-speaker sound system. It offered genuine off-road capability with on-road performance that nothing else could match. Being discontinued after just 1 year created legendary status among enthusiasts. It's the forgotten pioneer of the super SUV category, offering a unique combination of capabilities that later vehicles would refine but never quite replicate. Just be prepared for fuel consumption and the occasional alternator replacement. Number 2. Chevrolet Corvette C4 ZR1, 1990 to 1995. The C4 ZR1 is a technological marvel that's been unjustly relegated to the shadows. The entire C4 generation gets overlooked, caught between the classic C3 and the modern C5. But the ZR1 transcends its generation entirely. This was America's king-of-the-hill supercar, proving domestic engineering could compete with the world's best. The heart was an exclusive Lotus-designed, all-aluminum 32-valve DOHC V8 called the LT5, built by Mercury Marine. It produced 375 horsepower initially, later upgraded to 405 horsepower in 1993. The ZR1's problem is generational positioning. The C4 was a huge leap forward from the C3, but the C5 was an even larger leap in design and engineering. This left the brilliant ZR1 in an awkward historical position that younger collectors are now beginning to recognize. For smart buyers, this represents tremendous opportunity. The ZR1 offers world-class performance and exotic-level engineering at bargain prices compared to other special Corvettes. Its value is finally being recognized by enthusiasts who aren't bound by historical biases. Number 1. Chevrolet Corvair, 1965 to 1969. Taking the number 1 spot is the Chevrolet Corvair, a car that proves how a single narrative can destroy an excellent product regardless of its actual merits. The The Corvair began as an innovative, European-inspired American compact designed to compete with imports like the Volkswagen Beetle. The car featured a rear-mounted air-cooled flat-six engine, providing low silhouette, flat passenger floor, and excellent traction. But Ralph Nader's 1965 book, Unsafe at Any Speed, famously criticized the car's handling characteristics, specifically its swing-axle rear suspension. Here's the crucial detail most people don't know. Nader's book was published the same year Chevrolet introduced a completely redesigned second-generation Corvair. This new model featured sleeker, Coke bottle design and fully independent trailing arm rear suspension, modeled on the contemporary Corvette. This new suspension eliminated the handling issues of earlier cars, making the second-generation Corvair a legitimately competent and enjoyable driver. A 1972 government study found the Corvair's handling was at least as good as contemporary vehicles, both foreign and domestic. But the damage was done. Public perception had solidified the Corvair as unsafe, even though the criticism no longer applied to the product being sold. GM turned focus to the conventional Camaro, and a genuinely good car was doomed by a public relations storm that was no longer relevant. The Corvair represents the ultimate automotive tragedy, brilliant engineering destroyed by bad timing and public misunderstanding. For collectors who understand its true history, it remains a fascinating and highly collectible classic that offers unique character and performance at reasonable prices. These underrated classics prove that smart buyers look beyond hype to find real value. But once you've found your hidden gem, you'll need to keep it running properly. That's why you need to watch my video, 10 engine additives that actually work. Because protecting your investment is just as important as finding it.